So, oh boy, we got news. Triple Triad Advance, the greatest site ever made, is back. This is the biggest gaming news of 2021 because the best game ever, Triple Triad, besides maybe slight outside case for chess, is back. And that means we have Triple Triad Advance, the beautiful banner you can see here. We can see in the main my account, all my impressive details, and a totally out of date email as well as some rank stuff. Just going to show a few things around the site for people who haven't seen it, but also for me, it was just so nice to be able to click through again. So here you can get a new starter deck. If you make a new account, you have to come here and get you get 100 cards, 10 from each level, 1 through 10. It's a very generous starting amount compared to what it was in the past, and it means you immediately can play on whatever level you like. You can also choose your game avatar. Obviously, I have chosen this beautiful purple mustachioed man, but you have many options down here for what you want from various Final Fantasies. In the My Cards, you can see your cards organized by various things, like what level they are, what deck they come from, rares, unlocks, quests. You can see which cards you have and which cards you're missing. So I tend to be missing rares. I think I gave away all my rares before the site ended. And also, I don't have many FF14 cards or Mystic Quest cards because those came out after I had left the site. We also have hands. You can build hands. You can tell it a level, tell it decks, and you will see all the beautiful cards from your selection and can make a hand. Once you click the level, you can see all the cards loading in. They're lovely, and you can make your hand. Let's go back. We can view hands we've made. I've only made one hand on this account, but very powerful hand. We've got mail. I've received no mail. We have rewards. When you win 250 games, you win this card and get 250 points, but then the rewards start getting better. Eventually, you win rares as well as big point payouts, and someday it would be nice if I could win 5,000 games. What else do we got? We got a wish list. If there are cards you're looking for and you put them in the wish list, they will tell you if those cards are available in the card palace. So let's move to the card shop. You can buy packs from any deck to help collect decks. I think generally the best way to collect is to buy packs. I'm not going to have this exactly right, but as I recall, it's something like buy packs until you have 50%-ish of the cards in the deck, maybe a little higher. But at that point, each pack is 5 cards. About half the cards will be cards you already have, and you're going to have fewer and fewer new cards. So one thing at that point to do is to go to the card palace, which is down here, and specifically search here for cards that you're missing. And I think that is a less expensive way to fill out decks. You can also sell cards back. So if I have a duplicate of a card, say this level 4, I can sell it back. Level 4 is basically anything under kind of level 9s and 10s don't sell back for very much. You can also sell back cards back in the card palace if you want to sell them for a little more. But if I sell this card, I will gain 9 whole points. And, that's not very much given that a pack costs 200. Aside deck packs, we have special packs. For 100, which is the normal packs that cost 200, for a mere 100, you can get 5 cards, but they will only be from levels 1 through 7. For 250, you can guarantee all the cards are 6 through 8. And for 500, you can guarantee all the cards are level 9 or 10. 500, I think, tends to be the best purchase. There's also a new bonus that you have a 1 in 25,000 shot at a special card. Think of how much you'd have to spend, Yeah, that's a lot. So, to be likely to get it. So I tend to think platinum packs are a pretty good purchase, especially because levels 9 and 10 are very popular to play, so it's nice to have a collection. But obviously, if you want a specific card, the card palace is great over here. Also down here, we'll see the monthly bonus. If you play 15 games with the random rule on, doesn't matter whether you win or tie or lose, you get 500 points. You win 35 more, you get another 1,000 points. I don't know what the reward is after that, but that's a nice incentive to keep playing. What else we got? There are currently 22 users online. This is great to see. This came back up yesterday. September 20th is a day for the history books. And there were a ton online and the Discord was super active. Today it's calmed down a bit, but it's still nice to see a lot of people online. If we click view games, we can see which games are up. There are currently no games available to be taken. So if I wanted to play it, I'd have to create a game myself. But if we click watch games, we can see there are 3 games currently going. This may sound low compared to games, with a lot more activity, but it is delightful to see. and we can click the game and watch. This one here is closed. They're probably all closed. Most of the games right now are closed. Closed is quick and fun to play, so people tend to play closed. But we've seen Delial yesterday went on a big win streak in Open. Great Sephiroth was playing Open today. I've played a bit of Open. And Vialva was playing a bunch and playing quite well. I saw Akiyama or Dark Lord playing a bit. So some very good players playing Open. And we've seen tremendously good players playing closed as well. I've done extensive rankings of players, and of my top 12, I believe 9 of them have already been seen, and we are a day into the return. And that doesn't even include phenomenal players like Sir Smokes and Kaus here and Bren, and all these players are good. So we also have leaderboards. You can see who has the most wins ever. That would be Phipps with 23,000. That's a lot. Though I would note, people like Turds, I think his second account is close to 10,000 wins as well. So if you added, though maybe Phipps' second account brings him a lot higher. But people splitting between accounts can change their numbers. I'm pretty far down here. I think I might be in... Alright, let's find me. 69th. Alright, well, nice. Most ties. Turds here is the leader. I will note, Turds is a dirty cheater. When he was on 9,999 wins, he said, hey, Waz, want to play a game and just throw it to me so I can just get to 10,000 and have it over with? And I said, sure. So we put up a 2-minute open game, and I made my first move. He made his move, but I had seen before he made his move that I had this sick reply to what I expected him to do. And he did it, and I made my sick reply immediately. And he was like, wait up, that move's not bad at all. But then I did throw the game later, because he is a cheater. And I guess I helped him cheat, so I am a criminal here. How does Yojimbo have 470,000 points? Jesus, that's a lot. You can also see who has complete card collections. 2428 is the maximum. I guess only 5 players have every card. I'm pretty far down because I don't have any rares. And then there's the rank system, where as you play, you gain ranking. There once was a Moomba, no longer. You start at 1500, and because it is easier to gain rank than lose rank, most players will go up as they play. And at a certain point, it may stop increasing, but you can see there's a comparable number of sorceresses to how many there are in lower categories. Like, the trend is to move up, right? There are 10 chocobos. There are a lot more people who are higher up. Wow, so many rank points. So I'm somewhere in the sorceress category. All right, I'm 19th here. That's not bad. Obviously, I have not played as much as some people. You can transfer points to other players. This is nice if you have 2 accounts, which you are allowed to have, because it lets you move points back and forth. If you want to collect more on one account or play like trade on the other, it's a useful thing to have. It also meant some players were really generous, like Sir Smokes, who we've seen, used to send points to new players just incredibly kindly in quite large numbers. We have a tutorial that explains all the rules. It's great. There's a link to the Discord, and you can just view all the cards, which are beautiful. So we can see, say we want to see the, what would be nice to look at? Say we want to see the Dragon Quest deck. Well, we can look through all the Dragon Quest cards. And if you hover over them, you see the red version. Some cards change appearance between red and blue. I'm not sure any in the Dragon Quest do. Anyway, so it's beautiful. And if you're coming over from like FF14, the rules on this site are a little different than the ones you might be used to. So if we put up a game, you can choose what kind of trade there is. So most games are played non-trade. Trade 1 means the winner, if there is a winner, can take 1 card from the opponent. This is very much like FF8. Trade difference means whatever the difference in score is, you take that many cards. So if you win 6-4, you take 2 cards. If you win 7-3, you take 4. Trade all, whoever wins takes all the opponent's cards. You can choose whether it's open, closed, or random between them. Private game is used to indicate you're putting it up for a specific player to take and you don't want just anyone to take it. But the rules that might seem original to people coming over from FF8 or FF14 are the wall rules, specifically plus wall. And I think plus wall is the greatest rule in Triple Triad. And plus wall is like plus, except it treats walls as a 10. And what this means is, compared to something like FF14, there is a lot less just, I have 2 strong out-facing numbers, so I am safe. Because if you have 2 9s facing out, even if they don't have something higher than a 9 facing towards it, they can often still take it because all they need is a gap of 1 between two numbers on their cards. For instance, if they have a 7 facing your 9 and a 6 facing the wall, they can make a plus using the wall and your card. And this makes the game more complicated, but I think infinitely better. And it is a rule added with the Triple Tried Advance and maybe TTX and previous sites to this one. But it is just an incredible rule that makes the game a lot more dynamic and fluid and not so much determined by kind of high numbers overpowering. Random determines whether you pick your cards or they are at random, though if, for instance, you put up a level 10 game, the cards will be randomly from your level 10 collection. Combo has also been made optional. I think playing with and without combo is both really good rule sets. Elemental's horrible, we're going to ignore that. You can put on different time limits. This determines how many minutes you have for all your moves. I'm going to be going to close just because I'd like to get a game up during this video, and open games are not taking that much. Let's make all decks available, and I'm going to put up a game. And we got this loading screen. All this stuff looks so nostalgic to me, and I'm sure it does for other people who played TTA, so I like to just click the button to refresh. One thing about TTA is you have to refresh pages. It does not automatically update, or it only automatically refreshes every 30 seconds here. It's not constantly connected. So if you want to make sure you get started on your move quickly, you might be refreshing constantly. Some people do, some people don't. We can also open up another page and watch games on it. We don't have to... we can be in a game and still checking in on what's happening in other people's games. So we can see there are now 4 games going. So this one in red is a trade game, meaning the winner will take cards off the loser. But we can also see Tezuka vs. Bren here is a hand game. There's no random in the rule set. You can see the rule set down here. Wish we could see an open game. Kamikaze, are you playing open for me? No. Alright, so no open games to look at. Closed games are duller to watch, but we'll probably get a game shortly. In the meantime, who should we watch? Let's watch the trade game. So we have Addy on the left. Addy, really well-known, very good trade player. If you click someone's icon, you can see their account, and you can see, a really strong win-to-loss record. And that's while playing closed, which tends to have lower maximal win rates than open. And then MC, on the other hand, is one of the 10 best players to ever play open. You can see his whole set of icons. Some of them are gone because Flash is no longer supported by anything. But you can see these are all from tournaments that he did well in, making quarterfinals, semifinals, winning Barrett. You can see over here. Do we have a game yet? We do not. Games have been taken pretty quickly, especially closed games, so I'm kind of surprised we're still waiting. So here, Addy is in red and MC is in blue. You can see the 5 cards are all covered because it's closed. Just going to check if my game's gotten taken. And what's going on here? Closed is hard to discuss, but it certainly looks like MC has potentially locked in the cards in 1 and 7, but both his cards in 2 and 8 could be comboed, potentially. But the 1 and 2 is unlikely to be comboed from 3, unless MC put it there, in which case maybe it was with support from the hand. So it really, a lot depends on knowing who put which cards where, because it is much better, much more telling of whether they are likely to have the combinations. So interestingly, Addy decides not to flip anything, but rather to block in his card in 4, and potentially he has combos later. I would guess MC has the advantage here by a pretty decent amount, though potentially this is largely because he's on first turn, and I think first turn is a pretty significant advantage in closed. Do we have a game yet? We do not. I'm really surprised. It's been up for 202 seconds. I would be surprised. I would have guessed I'd get a game within a couple minutes. And we can also go back to watch games, see what's happening. Is everyone else still playing? Looks like they are. Ah, someone took my game. Okay. We're going to keep this one open because I'm curious what happens, but we can refresh here, and we have a game against Random Hero. I'm going to wish them best of luck. That was my catchphrase back in the day, with this particular smiley face. And how do we address their starter? We have 2 different cards that can take it from 8 and 1 that can take it from 4. So I'd really like to set up synergy with my own cards rather than have to do more to address their starter. Because I don't really think I need to. And the move that's jumping out at me is 7-6-7-9 in 9. Because it both sets up Freya well in 8 and 3A7-8 in 6, but also just puts a little... I think these adjacent corner plays often put a little pressure on someone's starter. Now, a more advanced type of play might be to start thinking about, at some point I'm probably going to slide next to their starter, which card do I want to do that with? But for now, I'm just going to make a move I like the look of, and we're not going to spend too much time thinking. Alright, what happened? They tied. Alright, well done, Addy, holding that position. We got Slash of Time playing, another great. Here you can see the clan tags. He has these brackets around his name. That was the Wethril Odorim clan. Hopefully clans are going to make some form of a comeback. It's not quite clear what the plan is right now, but strongly thinking about it. But you can see he has these tags. No one else playing right now has clan tags. But it was a nice way to build community, and I enjoyed all the clans I was part of. So waiting on Random Hero to make a move. They have taken us. So I'm pretty sure there's not much argument for anything besides taking back to lock in. The thing is, and I didn't think about this when making my move, both of my ways of taking back from 8 necessarily flip the card in 7. So when they take the card back in 7, which they almost certainly have the ability to do, occasionally there are bluffs, but when people play strong corners like this, they usually have them covered, they'll be able to combo me back. Which means I think I am going to play this card to lock it in, because when they combo me back, it won't combo back the card in 9. I should say I'm not an elite closed player or anything like it. I think I play fairly decent, but not particularly subtle. What other games are going on? We got... Alright, I'm going to hope this is open. It is not. And we got another trade game. Ooh, 6 games at once. Nice. These are both phenomenal players. Akiyama, who does have clan tags. He has the brackets of Wethril Odorim, and MC has the PL of the Polish clan. Both these players I have top 20 all time, and Dark Lord towards the bottom of that, but only because he came to the site late. And, both just incredible players. Okay, so I don't actually have any capture in 3, which is rather annoying. So I think the problem here is, or the challenge for me in this position is, if I play in 4, they are very likely to play in 3. And then I will be left with a tough decision. I'll probably have to overpower the card in 3, and I will likely be able to. They'll intend to do it with a low number facing out. And if I then take it in 2, and they can combo either my card in 2 or my card in 4, I just lose. And so you can also sometimes go in 4 here, they go in 3, you block 1, and sort of pray they don't have stuff, but it's all quite uncomfortable. Another thing I could do is something like 3A7-8 in 1, trying to have them go in 4, and then I can go in 2, and that combos some stuff and flips some stuff, but the problem is they go in 3 in response there, and probably have a card that's really good for both 2 and 4, because I'm pretty confident they have a double number facing towards A962, and if I set up my double number facing towards that, I'll also be setting up theirs. So I think something like that would be a pretty drastic mistake. So I am not sure what to do here. I think I'm just going to flip their card with Lulu in 4, and when they go in 3, I'm just going to block... I can't block 1 because I still think they have that double number. I can't block 1 with an A to the right, so I'll block 1 with like an 8 to the right, and just try to avoid the double number, because I really think they have a double number facing down left. Maybe I should have done this with Rydia, 6859. I'm not sure. Better close players will tell me all the things I did wrong in this game, and that will be very interesting to hear, because As I said, nowhere near an elite closed player. But I do win my fair share. Back in the day, I only played two site championships, but one was the first tournament I ever played, and I wasn't any good. But I won the second one I played, and then never had to play any others. But that run was, the closed part of it was not impressive. Okay, I am surprised that they comboed that immediately. I feel like they could have played in 3 and left Zell open. I guess my plan of blocking 1 would have been really good there, because Zell would have been kind of dead. That might be why they did this. Now I'm going to combo them, and they have to hope they have the combo back. I think it's kind of unlikely, because again, I think they have a double number down left. Maybe they've played weirdly enough that I should no longer think that. But I'm going to take the combo, say good game, and pray that they don't have it. They exactly need to be able to plus wall the A. Or same or plus. And, there's a fairly good chance. But if they have double numbers down left, Lulu and Waka don't beat me. What else is double numbers facing that way? 6-8-7-7 doesn't beat me. That does beat me. Okay, so they were bluffing on the starter. Interesting. And I read too much into it. Alright, good game. So, lose that one. I will blame second turn for my loss. But actually, I think I had real chances there. But I see why they went in 1 rather than 3, because they had a really good card to go in either 2 or 3. Maybe when I saw they had they played A6, 9, 4, and 5 with the A facing up, I should have put them on a double number so they could plus wall that from above. But that wouldn't have been too scary to me either, because they still need to have a card almost exactly like what they have. So, I think just one of those games you lose. Alright, we are facing the Wethril Odorum account. From the well-punctuated good luck, I would guess this is Dalamar. Alright, so Ruffles has been telling me stop starting in 5 and close. But Steiner and Ramza have such good synergy. Like if I put Steiner in 5, Ramza has a plus wall or same wall in 2 and 4, and can play off it potentially in 6 as well. I hate having both 7, 5, A6. My top 2 cards do not play great together. I think this is a fairly poor random. But I'm on first turn. I think I'm just going to chuck this in the corner. It's a card I want to get out of my hand. It's a direction I want to put the game in. And I do have a same wall recapture if wanted. From one direction. I don't have the other direction covered. But because they're unlikely to have this 2 covered in a way that locks in, usually I won't need to lock in from 4. Check what's going on elsewhere. Alright, another tie for MC. What do we got? We got an all-level random, so you could have cards of any levels. Those games are chaos. So Jiro vs. Bren, is this open? No. Ah, we got an open game. Alright, as you can see, always goofy. We have one level 10 over here and a bunch of very low levels on the right. On the left, we have a level 8. A level 8375 is level 7, I think. Maybe, probably 7, could be 6. And then some low mid levels. So I think Akiyama has the better hand just from a level perspective. I also think on these kind of sets, you probably don't want to use one of your better cards this early. They're going to be such powerful sweepers late, right? Like if you look at Akiyama's hand, this 887 part overpowers every single card's down, all but 1 card's left, all but 3 cards down, though it can sometimes plus wall the 7. I just think it's too powerful a card to use early, and some people like to chuck a weak card in 5. I like to chuck a weak card in a corner of which way I want to direct the game. Obviously, looking more specifically at the cards might lead you to better thoughts, but that would be kind of what I'd be thinking. Alright, they go Squall in 8. I have no real play against this, but I am starting to think I can make the game up and down, and my hand doesn't mind the game being up and down, right? I think only 386A is a card unhappy to see the game taken up down tilt. 954A has a plus wall in both 7 and 9, so I definitely want to leave those open. So I'm tempted to play 386A somewhere, and the way to keep it most up down is just to go in 5. There might be like clever people would do things like, I don't know, Ramza in 2 or something weird, or like Pinello in a 4, trying to force them to take 2 or something weird, but I don't think I don't believe this. I don't know what clever people would do. As an unclever person, I want to make the game up down. And the question is, do I want one side-to-side card left in my hand or not? And I think my answer is going to be no. I'm going to try to keep all up-down cards and direct the game that direction. And we'll check in on our other game. Okay, so it looks like Akiyama captured in 7 and Iceon played in 5, setting up a plus in 4, and also has the plus wall with 6214 in 9. So setting up one card both ways, which is always appealing, but it does sort of give up a card for free. Right? If Akiyama now plays, any of their cards except 9529 in 4, they have locked in the card in 7. But you can see the plan, because if they play like 7144 in 4, Iceon goes 6214 in 9, flips the card in 8, and Akiyama's only recapture of that is 8375 in 6, which is plus walled by 2136. So, can definitely see the plan there. Interesting move. Don't have enough time to figure it out. We'll see what Dark Lord does. I trust him to handle it well. I think very good player. Alright. So, couple things going on. I do not want Pinello in my hand anymore. Pinello has no play here. Steiner, really good in 7 or 9. If I can make those the last 2 squares, I am in great shape. Ramza, pretty good in 4 if 5 is still their color. Pretty good in 3. Pinello, good nowhere. So my instinct is just to get Pinello out of my hand, and the only square I don't have anything is 6, so I think I should just drop Pinello in 6. And trust my cards to be good in the remaining squares. And we'll see what's going on in the other game. Oh, where'd 6356 come from? Who had that card? Was I confused on who had which cards or what the move order was? I thought these were Akiyama's 3 cards. Oh, he had 4 because he was on turn. I just didn't scroll down and see the 6356. Okay. Interesting. So he still doesn't have 8375 in 6. So the standard move is just to play something in 1. And one nice thing is that can't be taken by 782A and 2 because 8375 can combo back. That gets comboed, but I'd have to count. Okay, so he just blocks 6. Makes sense, no down power. Yeah, that's a smart move. That's better than what I was thinking. Okay, so they blocked one of Steiner's squares. So I think I should immediately occupy the other Steiner square and leave Ramza's 2 squares available. I can also play... I can play just Ramza in 3, but that flips a ton of things and combo backs are scary. But I always threaten Steiner... Yeah, no, okay. So Ramza in 3... Why was I not doing this automatically? Flips 4 cards, right? So it's going to put me up 6-4, which means they can't go in 7, which means they have to go in 4. And if they capture one thing, Magumaro, I'm capturing Squall, so I win. If they flip 5, I'm capturing Squall and flipping lots more, because the combo will be there. So this should be just a forced win. So I should have gone to this quicker. Because I have the combo in 7. Because I was very lucky that they played Squall there. Like, I had one card that happened to have both sides perfectly covered. But that does sometimes mean you get these forced win spots. When, they happen to set up your cards and there's not really any way they could know. But that is closed for you, which is not to say closed is all luck, but it's to say there are times when you get pretty lucky. And you can certainly win or lose games without having outplayed the opponent. Though I think that is truer for Open than people give it credit for. And I think this is truer in games where everything's above board, where there's no hidden information, like chess and other games, than people give it credit for, where they think of it as all skill games. And I think there's just a lot more luck involved than people give credit for. Because I think of luck as variance not controlled by me. Right, so this looked headed for a tie. Yeah, I think a good game. And I don't control so many decisions my opponents make. I don't control what cards my opponent happens to have. Obviously, random introduces its own kind of randomization, but how that random lines up with mine is information not available to me until we see how the game plays out. And in a lot of cases, and you're making predictions of, I believe this card will play badly for them, but because you're not calculating everything from turn one, it's kind of interesting. Like if you watch Deli think or hear Deli talk about his moves, all right, so they conceded this is a loss, yeah, and this was the smaller loss. If you see Deli talk about his moves, he talks a lot in ways of like, this card of mine cancels out two of theirs or is likely to play well because it has like a same wall against two of their cards if on the bottom row and should play well there, and he'll try to hold on to that card as long as they have their cards. Oh, good for Vialva playing Open. So you'll see things like that, but it's hard to judge. He's making an estimate, right? He's a very smart, good player, and he's assuming this will play out well in the long run. Ooh, multiple Open games. But you don't know for sure. And whether it happens to depends somewhat on how the opponent happens to play, but it's stuff out of your control. I've talked about this way too long. It's probably not interesting to anyone. But I guess I should probably close up the video now that I've gotten in 2 games, and we got to even see some Open. So just delighted to say TTA is back. If you've played on it before, you should come back. It is somewhat thanks to people watching this channel that it has come back, because it helped re-enthuse. It was, not the main part, I don't think, but it was part of re-enthusing the moderation, the staff to bring it back. And so thank you to everyone who's watched the videos. I think you were part of bringing this back, and I really appreciate it. And I'm just so delighted to have it back. Yesterday, I spent the whole day just so amused and happy and just like not giggling, but feeling giggly, if you know what I mean. Like just everything seemed amusing and joyful and fun, and it was fun to watch players play and to see so many greats and goods and fun people come back, and to hear other people going, oh, I'm going to get so-and-so, and seeing them come in, and went away for an hour to get groceries, or a little longer to get groceries and eat dinner, and come back and find the Discord has 400 more messages in it than when I left. Oh, it was a delight. It was such an invigorating experience, and it was September 20th was a wonderful day, and I am so glad TTA is back.